Good morning. This is Brian with Forest Hills Memorials. It is Wednesday. It's November 29th. So it's Monday and Tuesday of this week. I didn't do a whole lot because it was freezing outside. It was in the single digits. When I got here, the feels like was in the negatives. We got the S word that everybody dreads. I know everybody, all the contractors and whoever else does this stuff, when the snow flies, it's getting close. The good thing about the snow on the ground this time was that I think it blanketed the ground a little bit because I took a shovel out into my yard this morning and the ground's not froze. So I've got the truck loaded up. It's one thing I did yesterday was loaded the truck up with a couple of foundations. I still have a few that I want to get in this year, a couple of recent purchases. I think I have 5 total that I'd like to get in if I can. It's not a real big deal, but I try to do what I can for everybody. So I'm going to take 2 out. I've got to go to Flora Cemetery today. I got 2 families. They bought granite foundation caps, so I've got a 5-foot by 2-foot loaded up and a 4-foot by 2-foot loaded up. So we're gonna bring those out. I think I'm gonna wait a little bit this morning, just an hour and a half before I go. I'm supposed to get up to 40 today, so I'm hoping that all this snow melts and I can get these foundations in. Called the cemetery in Elgin, which is close to the suburbs of Chicago, to see if I can come out tomorrow and do a foundation and set a single slant. Actually, the wife called and I could just hear the guy going, "Do you know there's snow on the ground?" Yes, but the ground's not frozen. So that's when I will go out and do this stuff until I can't put a shovel in the ground anymore. So that's what we told him. Ground's not frozen yet, so we're still going. So we'll see. That should be tomorrow. That'll just be a 3x2 foundation and then a slant to set. So we'll try to get today done first. Flora's probably 45 minutes away. Small little cemetery. It's one of those cool ones out in the middle of nowhere. Got a big white church right across the street. So show y'all what that looks like. We only go out there maybe once or twice a year, so not super often. But we'll bring you along. So we just made it to the cemetery and I've got to walk around. I'm glad I went all the way up to the other end of the cemetery up there. I was looking for another set of orange flags. I did find one set as I was pulling in and I walked it off. So I don't know if you can see them. That set of orange flags is right over there. And then as I was backing up, I think I've got to get the gator out, and then I've got drop the trailer. So I tried to go back down to this corner over here, and I saw another set of orange flags. It's right on the road up here, so that'll be nice. I'll be able to boom this one straight from the road, but I don't know which is which. So I've got a 4-foot foundation and a 5-foot foundation. So I'm gonna go walk these flags off, see what the distance is between them. The first one I found over there was 5 feet, so I'm hoping this one's 4 feet, and then I'll know at least where the foundations go. And this one looks like it's pretty small. So just walking this off to, yeah, I mean that's like 3.5. The guy didn't write any name on the flag, so that doesn't help, but I would guess that's where the 4-footer goes. So we got a really cool stone that goes here. We got a guy that found a giant granite boulder in a field. This guy used to work in a, must have been a rock quarry of some sort, and he ended up making his own diamond wire saw to cut the stone, and it turned out really cool. It's like a rainbow looking granite. I don't know if it is, but that's pretty cool. So we're engraving that right now, so that's why I want to get this done. That one should be going on the 5-footer over here. But this is the cemetery I was talking about that has a cool kind of white church, and then over there's a pretty cool view. I don't know what they quarry over there. I'm assuming it's just sand and gravel, but pretty cool. Definitely out in the middle of the sticks, surrounded by cornfields and a church and a gravel quarry. So we're gonna get these ones lined up in that, and then we'll get to work. All right, we're all finished here. I got the 5-footer and the 4-footer in. I'll show you what they look like. We're coming up on the 5-footer here, so there's the 5-footer. I guess I should say I'm mostly done, you know, with the snow melting. The thing I don't like about setting foundations when it's wet out is that, you know, it just gets your piece completely covered in mud. So I didn't quite have enough dry dirt to dirt either of the foundations, so most of it was, you know, just muddy, which I didn't want to cover the thing with mud, because our hope is that we're going to set these stones this winter yet. So the other one looks just the same. So actually the other one I have probably a 1.5 sides that didn't get dirted. So this one just has, you know, this back, you know, a couple of feet that didn't get dirted. So the other one's smaller, but it's got the full front and one side I didn't have enough dirt for. So probably gonna need probably 2 buckets of dirt. And I'm debating, tomorrow I got to go to Elgin, so I could stop back by here tomorrow, or I could go get my truck and a couple buckets of dry black dirt and come back out here this afternoon. Probably gonna see what Beth thinks. So, and then when I got here, you know, we put the new toolbox in the trailer, and the gator moved around quite a bit. I didn't install the D-rings to hold that in place, so we're gonna try it like this. I strapped it down to the back D-rings. Gonna see if that holds it from moving. It had gotten pushed up against the toolbox, so moved pretty far forward. I just had 2x4s under the tires, and those just moved out of the way. So gonna try this. I'm gonna see how it rides. I know you need some tongue weight. This puts, I mean, the engine's in the back of that thing, so, you know, most of the weight of the gator's probably right here, really kind of over the axle still. So we'll see how she tows. I don't really want to go to Elgin tomorrow with that gator flying all over the place back there. So if this works on the way back to the shop, I'll probably leave it that way for the drive tomorrow. And then this is a short video. Tomorrow I'm actually setting a stone with the foundation, so I'll probably piggyback some footage onto this video. Trying to think. Yeah, I'm not getting a video coming back out here, so I will see you guys in the morning. Good morning. It is the next day. It's Thursday, and I'm gonna go get the truck started. Looks like the boss just got here. So today's the day I'm gonna take this truck and everything into Elgin. Seemed like the gator traveled fine in the trailer, backed up. I think I'm gonna try to pull it forward and strap it down, you know, towards the back, but forward today. So I'm gonna get this started. And then I forgot that yesterday I forgot to show you guys what was wrong with the crane. So I'll show you that now. So the crane started smoking again, which it had done before, and I didn't realize it. So these auto cranes, they have a 200 amp fuse under the hood, which just seems like a ton of amps that they pull to me. So the mechanic replaced this red wire. So the red wire goes to the hydraulic pump, and it's the power for it. So what was on there before was a 6-gauge wire, and he had he tested the amperage on that 6-gauge wire somewhere. I don't know if it was in here or up there, but the wire was all frayed. Just where the connection was, it was all frayed. So he had tested the amperage on the 6-gauge wire, and it was pulling like 197 amps, which is a lot. So he replaced that wire with a 4-gauge wire, and after replacing it with a brand new wire that wasn't all frayed, it was, I think at max, it was pulling like 105, which is a pretty huge difference. So hoping, I'm gonna knock on wood and keep my fingers crossed that that was the issue, that we just needed a new power wire. So it worked fine yesterday, so I am hopeful that that was a fix. So we're gonna let the truck warm up. I gotta strap the load down still, but then we are going to make the drive into Elgin, which it's not quite into Chicago, but it's, I consider a suburb, so it's probably an hour away, a little over maybe. So that's gonna be our work today. I gotta load up a few other things, and then we'll get on the road. So I'm here. I'm literally, I totally forgot to grab the camera and video anything. I'm literally in my truck getting ready to pull out to head back to the office. So we're still right next to where the stone's located, and right by the office here at Bluff City Cemetery. So the office is over there. They've got just a bunch of stuff going on here. There's been all kinds of trucks and trailers and landscapers and dirt people coming in. So this is the memorial I just set. So just a 2-foot single slant with a vase, which I'm glad I came back over here because I got smudge marks on there. Pretty cool vase. It's a medallion vase from U.S. Metal Craft, and it's got a little medallion on there. That's a very nice touch. So that's the stone. That's all completed. It's called Bluff City Cemetery, and I drove around to find their dirt pile, and I can certainly see why it's called anything to do with bluffs. All kinds of hills and this crazy terrain around here. I would, I spent 20 years running a cemetery and setting up funerals and things like that, and I can't imagine some of the sets that they have on these hills. So when you're setting a vault for a burial, the vault needs to be perfectly level so that the casket can lower down into the vault properly. And when you've got hills, it just makes it that much tougher to get it set right. So can't imagine doing them on some of these hills. So that is going to be it for this video. Appreciate you guys tuning in, and thanks again for all the new subs. And if you haven't, hit that button. It's free. It's free to hit that button. We appreciate it, and we'll continue bringing you along and showing you what we do on the the daily basis. Aiden comes back from Boston tomorrow, and or today, I guess. Late today, his flight got delayed, so I'll be picking him up later. And then the girls reminded me yesterday that tomorrow's my birthday, so I thought it was next week. It's funny how when you get older, I look forward to their birthdays more than mine. So, all right, just backed up, got us pointing back straight out of here. So we will see you guys on the next one.